Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. It's football time in the state of Georgia. What a great weekend as the NFL kicks off this season. Today, we got an NFL game preview, our first of the year. And I think it's the game of the day on Sunday. It's the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Who Dat Nation, the New Orleans Saints. If you like the video today, please come in and share it. And joining me to break down the game of the day is a young man, 12-year vet of the Atlanta Falcons. First-round draft selection in the 1981 draft. Two-time All-American at Florida State University. The greatness, Mr. Bobby Butler. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, Vincent. How are you today?
So we're going to break down the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the New Orleans Saints. If you like the video, please come in and share it. Let's get to it. Brother Butler, man, on Sunday.
Wow, what a way to open up.
New Orleans.
What a way to open the season up with this matchup right here. Man, listen, this game is going to be decided in two factors. This game is going to be decided who wins the quarterback battle and who wins the defensive front seven. Okay? So here's the deal. Tom Brady, y'all know he's the GOAT. You know, he's done everything a quarterback can do. If he don't do anything more, he's done it all. But he's in a new location. He's down in sunny South Florida. You know, he's getting ready for retirement. He's easing his way down to Florida, Vincent. But he's got more talent on this roster than he's ever had, than he's ever played with from the offensive side, from where I look at it. So let's just go down the list of what he's working with. He's got one of the greatest running back rooms in the NFL right now, because we know last year Ronald Jones had a breakout season, and he was special last year. And then they picked up LaShawn McCoy, you know, who's Mr. can do anything at any time. Even though he's an older running back, he still is a big play threat. But this past week, they picked up an addition in a back that is I'm telling you, this guy's powerful. Leonard Fournette out of LSU. He's a big, powerful, fast, strong back. And I'm telling you, they just exploded their running back room, Vincent. I mean, that's just more weapons that he's got. His wide receivers, he's got three of the best wide receivers in the league. First of all, he's got three-time Pro Bowler Mike Evans on the outside, stretching up the defense, along with 2019 Pro Bowler Chris Godwin, who had an incredible year. And then he's got Scotty Miller. Y'all may not know about this young man, but he's the next Cole Beasley at that slot receiver spot. So he's got weapons in his receiver room, but his tight ends are like receivers. So he don't have just three or four wide receivers. He got about 6 or 7, because now, you know, Rob Gronkowski came out of retirement to join his buddy down in Tampa. Now, here's the thing about Rob. You got to remember, he's not just a tight end, Vincent. He's a wide receiver. He's an X out wide. He's a Y as a tight end. And he's a slot receiver, right? And he's a matchup problem, because when he's out wide, corners can't even cover this guy. He's 6'7". He's a matchup problem. But even before Grunt came to town, they had a great tight end room, because they got O.J. Howard and Cameron Brate. Last year, they did business by themselves. And now you add Rob Gronkowski to that group. Hey, Tom Brady's got some receivers to throw the ball to. That's all I can say. He got some backs who can run the ball. But in this game, their offensive line has got to play well to give them a chance to win. Can Donovan Smith, Ali Marpet, Ryan Jensen, Alex Cappe, and rookie first rounder Tristan Wirth, can they win the battle in the trenches? That's going to be the final decider in this game. Who is going to win the battle in the trenches? Can they win against a 4-3 aggressive style defense coached by Coach Dennis Allen, who's the defensive coordinator for the Saints, How would they handle Cameron Jordan, 5-time Pro Bowler, 2010 All-Decade team, Vincent, 15 and a half sacks last season, Marcus Davenport, that whole unit is strong, David Onyemata, Sheldon Rankins, Malcolm Brown. Can they handle those guys up front? And then when you talk about the 7, you add DeMario Davis, who's a first-team All-Pro at linebacker, Alex Anzalone, Caden Ellis, and the new rookie, Zach Bond. Can the front offensive line for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers handle that defensive 7? It's going to be the key. I'm telling you right now. And then you add the secondary the Saints got. They got an all-star secondary. Cornerback, 2-time Pro Bowler, Marshawn Lattimore. Cornerback, Pro Bowler, out of Pahokee, the 5'6" Florida, Janarius Rabbit Jenkins. Marcus Williams at safety. And then also 2-time Super Bowl champion and 3-time Pro Bowler leader, Malcolm Jenkins. That's a lot of defense for Tampa Bay to deal with. That's a lot of defense for them to deal with. And here's the thing about this defense. If you notice, on every level of defense, they got Pro Bowlers. They got all pros. So, like I say, who's going to win that battle? Quarterback Drew Brees and Tom Brady are the upper echelon of the National Football League. We know that. They're both in their 40s. Drew Brees, we know Brady is 43, but Drew Brees is 41, and this is his 20th season in the league. So we got the 2 dinosaurs, but still 2 of the best quarterbacks in the league from the open week 1 and go at it. Here's the thing about Drew Brees. Here's the advantage Drew Brees has. He's got players on his offense. And not only do he have players, he's already, Vincent, developed chemistry with these guys. He's been with these guys in the room except for one. And the kind of player he is, it don't matter because he's going to take the roof off the mother sucker, if you get what I'm saying, right? So we talk about Alvin Kamara. Everybody's talking about Alvin Kamara trying to renegotiate his deal. He missed a couple practices. They're trying to make it, that's the media. Trying to make it, hey, listen, Alvin Kamara is going to show up Sunday, and he's going to play. He's a 3-time Pro Bowler, graduated right down the street, Norcross High School, right around the corner. See my hand? Right around the corner. That's where he graduated from, right? Norcross High. He's an every down back. You don't have to take him out on third downs, right? He's a thoroughbred. So what that means is when you're a thoroughbred, we can't run you all day long. We don't run you in the ground. We want you to have those special moments, right? So here's a guy to every time he touched the ball in the backfield, Vincent, he's averaging 4.7 yards per carry. Now, I'm not a math major or math science. I'm not good with numbers like that, but anybody can add that up. How many times you want to hand him the ball? It only takes 10 yards to get a first down. I'm just saying, right? And then you talk about him, and he's extremely well catching the ball out of the backfield, but we can take him and line him out wide like a wide receiver, and he's a linebacker's nightmare. No linebacker wants to go outside and cover Alvin Kamara. I tell you that right now. And then in the receiver room, man, you add 2019 NFL Offensive Player of the Year, 3-time Pro Bowler, Michael Thomas, who is, by the way, the best receiver in the National Football League. Now, we can argue that every way you want to, but I'm just looking at results. I'm looking at data. I'm looking at facts. This guy catches more balls than anybody in the last 2 years, right? So he's the best in the game. And then you add Emmanuel Sanders. He will take the roof off of the mother sucker. So we got him, and he's a Pro Bowler to stretch the defense. And then we got the best vertical tight end in the league. Now, y'all know we got a lot of great tight ends in the game today. But North Gwinnett grad, he's from right down the road. He's from he down the road, maybe about 18 miles down the road. Gwinnett County, North Gwinnett grad, South Carolina Gamecock, Mr. Jared Cook. He averaged 19.2 yards per catch last year. A tight end. But guess what now? Remember who's throwing the ball, Vincent? Drew Brees. So we got that going on. And then this offensive line. Hey, listen, man. This is a Pro Bowl team right here. 4 out of 5 starters are back. But they added first-round pick Cesar Ruiz from Michigan. And then left tackle Teron Armstead is a 2-time Pro Bowler. Right tackle Ryan Ramczyk is a first-time team All-Pro. Left guard Andrews Pent is a 2-time Pro Bowler. Then you got center Eric McCoy. Bruh, I don't know what else to say. This is an all-star offense with an all-star defense. So here's the question. Can Tampa Bay's defensive front seven deal with that? Now, they've got Ndamukong Suh, who's a former Pro Bowler, but Pro Bowler back in the day, early in his career. Jason Paul-Pierre, he's a Pro Bowler, but way back in the year, right? Now, they're still playing good football. Don't get me wrong. They're still playing good football, but they're not playing in their prime. So that being said, can the offensive line for the New Orleans Saints handle the Tampa Bay defensive front seven and their linebackers, who are pretty good? Can they handle those guys? I got to say, Vincent, the way I'm looking at it, I got to give the New Orleans Saints the advantage in this matchup. Now, I'm going to go ahead on a limb, and I'm going to say this. Last year, the New Orleans Saints swept Tampa Bay. This year is a different year, however, right? But I gotta say, Vincent, at this point where we are right now, we're in the first week of the NFL football. And I like to say that the New Orleans Saints have more chemistry on their team than Tampa Bay does at this point. So as of today, I'm going to say this. I believe the Saints will win the battle of the quarterbacks, and I also believe they'll win the battle in the trenches. Game 1, week 1 in the National Football League. This is a mega week, y'all. But I got the Saints winning this game by 10 points. But I'm going to say this right now. This is the first game. The second game these teams play is going to be a different story.
Well, Brother Butler, well said. I'm going to have to disagree with you on some fronts because I'm going to make it right quick. I'm going with Tampa Bay. But I'm going to say this with New Orleans. It's pretty good that they got Alvin Kamara back this week. You are correct, Brother Butler. The offensive line is probably the best in football. Teron Armstead, let's give kudos to UAP, Pine Bluff, where he played ball at down in the great state of Arkansas.
That's right.
Mr. Ryan Ramczyk from the University of Wisconsin. They're probably the 2 best tackles in the game.
Yes.
But let's be realistic. Drew Brees cannot go over the top of the defense no more. He throws a lot of slants to arguably the best receiver in the game, Michael Thomas. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be a tremendous help to the offense, which is already don't need much. But when you look at it, New Orleans, to me, to be stable in this football game, is going to have to run the ball with Mr. Kamara and Latavius Murray. Because I just don't think Drew Brees has that arm strength where he can really test Tampa Bay's secondary. Now, getting to New Orleans defense. Marcus Davenport and Cameron Jordan are 2 of the best rush ends. There's a premium. They are going to have to get pressure on Tom Brady on Sunday. No question about it, Brother Butler. Their secondary is tight. Jarvis Jenkins, Marshawn Lattimore, the great Malcolm Jenkins. I like the young man out of Utah, Mr. Marcus Williams. There's no question about it. Even your boy, Mr. PJ Williams out of Florida State.
Right.
They got people that can cover. There's no question about it coming up on Sunday. The linebackers, Demario Davis is excellent. But when you look at New Orleans, Drew Brees is not that guy that's very explosive in the pocket as he used to be. And to me, they don't have the explosive players because he can't go over the top of the defense. So that means Alvin Kamara becomes a real serious focus on the offense because he's going to have to be able to run the football. Now let's go over the other side with Tampa Bay, why I'm going to take them. Defensively, you're right. Mr. Sue is way back, but he still got some tread on the tires. Mr. Pierre Paul is way back, but he still got some tread on the tires. But however, you got to mention that linebacker crew, Levante David.
Oh, they're bad.
South Florida area, by where Nebraska was one of the best in the game.
That's right.
I don't have to ask you about Devin White because we talked about him a couple of weeks ago.
That's
Go
right.
back to the last month. He might have been the best in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And you talking about they can't rush a passer. Brother Butler, I'm surprised that you didn't bring up Shaquille Barrett, who last year, I believe, maybe 19 sacks on the season?
19 and a half sacks.
Okay. The secondary for Tampa Bay, that's going to be the question mark. The Auburn guys, Carlton Davis, Jamar Dean, Sean Murphy Bunning out of Central Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what's going to make their secondary strong, he's going to take some time to learn the defense, but you even talked about him, you even raved about him. Antonio Whitfield Jr. is starting on Sunday.
Yes.
So I think Tampa Bay can really hold their own defensively. I don't think they're going to give up a lot of big plays because Drew Brees ain't going to be able to go over the top of them. Everything's going to be underneath, slant, 15 yards. Hey, in this game here, you got to have some explosive plays. Now, this is where I get to where I show my rant, and I take it here from 100 yards of football. I'm going to look at the GOAT. Tom Brady could have posed any team in the league. But you know what? He looked around. He shopped around. He said, hey, I'm finally from under Bill Belichick. But I like that thing down in Tampa. First of all, I must say, I like Bruce Arians because I saw what he did with Ben Roethlisberger and won a Super Bowl. I saw what he did in Arizona with Carson Palmer and how he saved his career. And then he's a player coach. And then I look how he be so dappy on the sideline, rocking that white polo hat, rocking the goatee white.
Little style on it.
After in Arizona. Hey, I'm going to choose them, but most of all, what the GOAT Tom Brady looked at. I'm going to say this. Let me take you back in history time when New England went 16-0. These are the parts he had on offense. Lawrence Mahoney, Kevin Falk, Sammy Morris, Randy Moss, Wes Welker, Dante Stallworth, Jabbar Gaffney, and Ben Watson. The names that stick out is probably Randy Moss. Let's be for real, Brother Butler. But when he looked at Tampa Bay, Mike Evans, Texas A&M, All-Pro. Chris Godwin, Penn State, All-Pro. Tyler Johnson, we just took him in the 5th round, very underrated out of Minnesota. Then I'm going to call my man up, my partner in crime, Ron Gronkowski. I got this rocking down here in Tampa. Gronkowski looked at it. Well, I ain't got to really kind of do a lot because it takes me back when I first came in the league. I was with Aaron Hernandez and how we put up them numbers and got to the Super Bowl with the GOAT. He looked at it and saw that young man, just to you, Coach Jones, Roll Tide, O.J. Howard, who's been like a beast in preseason practices. Then Cameron Brate, who led the team, who led, I think, all the tight ends and touchdowns this past last year. But then the GOAT looked in the backfield. Like you said, Brother Butler, Ronald Jones is serious out of USC, had a great year last year.
He did.
Then, even though that young man out of Pitt, LaShawn McCoy might be way back, but he still got some juice. All you got to do is put on the game film and feel it. Then, oh my God, they drafted a young man out of the 615, Keyshawn Vaughn. Don't get it upset and misconstrued because he came out of Vanderbilt. But look at the numbers he put up against some of the schools when he was there in his career.
Right.
And then, oh my God, St. Aug in the house. New Orleans and Louisiana in the house. LSU in the house. And he even went on and said the day he got to Tampa Bay, he's never played with a quarterback like this in his whole career. Remember, he didn't play with a quarterback at LSU, and it was stacking 9 in the box.
Mm-hmm.
Then when he got to Jacksonville, come on, man, Blake Bortles and Gardner Minshew, come on, man.
Right.
But people tend to forget when Jacksonville got to that AFC Championship game against New England, those 2 playoff games against Pittsburgh and against New England, he balled out. The young man, I call him the Black Panther, the Greek God. I know the media is hard on him, but Leonard Fournette has said it's going to be something serious in Tampa. And the GOAT has got all that.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. He's got all that. The only question is the offensive line. Like you said, Brother Butler, can Donovan Smith and the rookie Tristan Wirfs hold up at the tackle position?
Right.
But I'm going to tell you, when I look at Tampa Bay, man, you're talking about a perfect situation to me. Tom Brady standing at Derek Jeter's house. Got good looking down there in Tampa. You already told me how many times the city of Tampa is very, very high class with beautiful people.
Oh, yes.
Down on the beach. The Super Bowl is in Tampa this year. This might be the first time in NFL history a home team hosts the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And I know a lot of people saying the GOAT is 43. I know a lot of people say, hey, man, that he can't move in the pocket. New Orleans might get pressure on the outside. But however, remember this. This guy won 6 Super Bowls in New England with lesser talent. This guy's faced every defense that's out there. He's watched every game film. Now you putting him with this? With this? Oh, my God. It's just like going back in the day, Brother Butler. Me and you are a year apart. You know how you used to go to them parties at Florida State? When you first got on campus, you was a wide-eyed freshman, and you walked in and you saw all them beautiful women from Miami, Delray Beach, Tampa, Orlando. You look at Tampa right now, like I said, I think they're going to make a serious statement on Sunday. I think Tom Brady is going to put up numbers. And I think next time, this week, no disrespect to Who That Nation, but I think we're going to realize it's something serious going to go down in Tampa. And remember, Bruce Arians has been very quiet. Tom Brady has been very quiet. It's been the media putting everything on Tampa.
Right.
And they fooled around and got Leonard Fournette. All it's about is their offensive line. And think about this. You brought up Mr. Seward's way back. Pierre Paul is way back. But think about this. They know Hollywood is came to town in Florida, baby. Tampa finna be LA of the West. And when I look at it on Sunday, it's going to be must-see TV. I guarantee you it's going to be the most watched game that day in the National Football League. Because somewhere, somehow, I'm going to find a sports bar. If they allow me, I'm going to have my mask on. And this Tampa Bay team, I like the firepower they got. They got a chance to have the best offense in the game. And reason I brought up 2007, I read them names off again. Kevin Falk, Lawrence Mahoney, Wes Welker, Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth. But remember this, the GOAT, that was his best year. 4,800 yards, 50 touchdowns, 80 interceptions. He was 31 at the time. But to me, when he looked at what he's had in New England, he's hadn't had this firepower. And now he with a guy in Bruce Arians who likes to get it down the field. And he brought his man Gronkowski. To me, you better have 4 or 5 good defensive backs that can cover. Now, you brought up Malcolm Jenkins, but I'm looking at Malcolm Jenkins. Go to the Super Bowl, baby. And look how Gronkowski, as we said back in the 901, he worked out. He worked out on Malcolm Jenkins. Now, you might could X out Jarvis Jenkins on Chris Godwin and Marshawn Lynch on Mike Evans. But you still got Cameron Bray. You still got O.J. Howard. Then you know yourself, Brother Butler, you play the game at high level. You spraying your secondary pieces all over the field. But then you got them, I call them animals in the backfield. I'm going to go with Ronald Davis, who's going to bring that USC swag, O.J. Simpson, Reggie Bush to the thing. Then I'm going to go with Keyshawn Vaughn, young legs, 21 years old out of Vanderbilt. Then I'm going to bring LaShawn McCoy. You know he going to want some of that. And then you bring it on the 6'1". I'm going to say it one more time. 228, St. New Orleans in the house. Man, it's going to be something serious on Sunday. I'm taking the Buccaneers by 7. Final word, Brother Butler.
Well, it sounds good. All that you just said, it sounds good on paper. But here's my deal. They're both loaded with talent. But I just believe the edge go to the Saints because of the time that that Drew Brees has had with his team. And they're playing in New Orleans. But like I said, if you heard what I said this game, the second game will be different between these two. I just think right now, where New Orleans is, they may be a little bit better at this point. But by the time the end of the year, I expect for all that you said to be true, right? It's going. Put it this way, I can't wait. I'm excited about this game. I think a lot of people are excited about this game. It could go either way, but whoever wins this quarterback battle and whoever wins in the trenches, they'll get the W on Sunday.
My final words, I'm looking forward to it Sunday. I think it's the game of the day. All eyes on Tampa. Tom Brady, perfect situation. Think about this. Here's a guy that last year ended the playoffs losing in a wild card game. Look at the words that were said about him. Maybe he needs to retire. And the most important thing, one thing that stuck out to me is that Tom Brady's lost some arm strength. He can't get the ball down the field. Mm-hmm. Well, if you know about Tom Brady, 6th-round pick out of University of Michigan, came out of nowhere in 2001, has always been up against it. The guy got 6 Super Bowl titles. And Brother Butler, you know about the game in the National Football League. To me personally, and you can maybe bag me up, we could talk about yards, we can talk about data, as you say, but it's all about this. That's what the great ones do.
Oh, absolutely.
And he want to close the book on something great. Mm-hmm. And he picked a team that's got a lot of offensive firepower. It's all about the offensive line. If Tampa Bay protects him on Sunday, like I said, the rest of the National Football League, my final saying, because we coming. Mm-hmm. That's all I have to say. If you like the video today, please comment and share it. Enjoy all the games on Sunday. The National Football League starts their season on Thursday night with the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs. If you like the video today, please comment and share it. I'm Vincent Turner, and joined by the greatness, the legend, the talent, the 2-time All-American at Florida State University, 12-year veteran, played the game at a high level. And matter of fact, let me mention his hometown, the beautiful hometown of Delray Beach, Florida. My man, Mr. Bobby Butler. Y'all have a blessed day. We are 100 yards of football.